My pleasure to welcome all of you here today. I want you to know that we will not be taking questions today through this Zoom format, but we do invite your questions nonetheless. If you go to the main COVID-19 webpage at augustana.edu, you will be able to find a leave a comment or question link, and we encourage you to find that link on the COVID page and send any questions or comments that you have. We will do our best to reply to all of those just as quickly as possible. With that said, it is my honor today to welcome President Steve Balls. Steve?
Well, good afternoon. I'm abundantly grateful to our students and employees for their hard work to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19 on this campus. Today, I come to you from my office in Founders Hall on the beautiful Augustana College campus, and I am so pleased that we have successfully completed our second month of hard work to live responsibly with COVID-19. Students have been our superstars. They have followed our guidance and that of state officials, as well as the CDC. And to our list of superstars, let's add the faculty and staff of Augustana College who have gone the extra mile to provide the best possible education.
What if I told you you could go back?
For those of you tuning in today who don't have the privilege of getting to this campus often, you are probably not aware that you can't walk the sidewalks of this beautiful campus without seeing everyone in masks. What a sight it is on this spectacular fall day on the campus of Augustana College. Students, thank you. You have masked up in a way that should be a model to our broader Quad Cities community, to the state, and across the nation. Students, you've changed your plans this fall and you've kept your gatherings small. You've shown restraint. You've engaged in social distancing. And we know that you are using our hand sanitizers because we keep on filling those bottles on campus. And parents, thank you for your support. For an update on the numbers here on campus, I want to turn things over to Dr. Wes Brooks, the Augustana College Dean of Students. And as I do, please let me take a moment to acknowledge his hard work, strength, and incredible fortitude as he and his team have led Augustana College COVID-19 response and mitigation efforts. Thank you, Dr. Brooks.
Thank you, President Balls, and thank you to everyone on campus who has been a part of our planning, preparation, and response to COVID-19, whether it be the task force, Augustana Strong, or faculty and staff across the campus community. It's certainly a team effort. I'm going to share information with you today about surveillance testing and self-reporting here at Augustana College. In my time talking to parents, students, and employees, I know these numbers are important to you. As we complete October's surveillance testing, I can report that 2,766 tests have been administered with only 17 total positives. Within our surveillance testing, this means we've achieved less than a 1% positivity rate. For last week, the week of October 26th, we had 3 positive tests among 356 people tested, making last week's positivity rate less than 1% as well. In addition to what was discovered through surveillance testing last week, we also had 6 students and 5 employees self-reported positive cases, for a total of 11 this week. So we had 4 students and 4 employees that tested through self-reports positive cases for a total of 11. So as of today, after 10 weeks of surveillance testing and self-reports, the total number of positive cases on campus dating back to late August is 75. For a bit more detail, during this academic year, 61 of those cases were among students and 14 were among employees. Less than 3% of the Augie community population has reported a positive test result this fall. And as I've said before, you've all heard me say this is a fluid situation, and our work continues to grow and change each week. There are new wrinkles and new requests. The change of the seasons, for example, creates new considerations that the Augustana Strong Task Force and others across campus continue to assess. and we will continue to adhere to state and county health department guidance. We'll work closely with county health departments and regional leaders and follow CDC guidelines, both proactively and in accordance to those requirements. Every step Augustana College takes, we see as a partnership. And the most important partners in this effort are our students and employees. We need everyone to remain vigilant. This is not the time to let up our efforts. Masking and physical distancing must remain priorities for our campus community. Keeping our social pods and clusters small and very tight-knit continues to be important for mitigating possible spread from positive cases. I'd ask that our group gatherings continue to be 10 or less in social settings. College-sponsored activities, such as OSL functions, for example, will transition to group size no larger than 25 until further notice. And continuing to adhere to visitor restrictions in the residence halls is an essential part of our COVID response plan. Failure to comply with these expectations will result in referral to the student conduct process, which may include interim measures, such as interim suspension, separation from campus, interim suspension from participating in all campus activities, or other interim actions designed to reduce the likelihood of spreading COVID-19. By doing all of these things over the last 10 plus weeks, we've shown as a campus community we can coexist with COVID. Continuing to respond to COVID-19 responsibly throughout November and beyond will continue to provide the Augustana community the best path forward. And I thank everyone for their continued personal and community efforts in dealing with this pandemic. All of our COVID efforts remain very important because, as some of you may be aware, our region isn't faring as well as we'd all hope. And to get the updates about the region, I'd like to introduce Kai Swanson. Kai has been a member of our senior leadership team, keeping a pulse on the local and state data, guidance, and changes. Kai, thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Brooks. Hello, friends. I really appreciate this opportunity to share the most recent information we have with you from the state. Governor Pritzker yesterday increased restrictions given the changing coronavirus situation regionally and nationally. These are effective Wednesday. For restaurants, bars, and similar establishments, there will be no indoor service, and all service closes at 11 p.m. All patrons need to be seated at tables outside. There'll be no ordering, seating, or congregating inside, no standing or congregating indoors or outdoors while waiting for a table or while exiting. Reservations are required for every party, and no seating of multiple parties is allowed at one table. As referenced, the state is decreasing the number of persons allowed to gather to 25 from the former level of 50. While the restrictions largely exempt colleges and their instructional activities, we will be following these guidelines in virtually all cases. At Augustana College, we have a very limited number of course sections and ensemble rehearsals that may slightly exceed 25. We have protocols in place to ensure that these are conducted in a responsible manner. Because evidence from the Quad Cities and elsewhere indicates that not all establishments are responding to this public health crisis in a responsible manner, we will be enforcing these rules ourselves. Students will continue to be subject to quarantine and possible disciplinary action if they are observed inside restaurants and bars. Employees likewise are asked to observe these guidelines and avoid entering establishments regardless of which state you live in. We have, as a campus community, performed incredibly well, and I have every reason to expect that the care for and accountability to our fellow members of the Augustana community, that care and responsibility we've shown will help to sustain us now in the weeks leading up to Thanksgiving and our subsequent break. And for one more update on campus information today, I'm very honored to pass things along to Augustana Vice President Kirk Anderson. Kirk?
Thanks, Kai, and good afternoon, everyone. As Kai mentioned, I am Kirk Anderson. I'm an alum of Augustana College. I'm a dad of a current student, and I serve as the college's Chief Financial Officer. Today, I wanted to share some information with you as it relates to my role as the Augustana College Vice President who oversees human resources. Last week, a member of Dining Services management team tested positive during Augustana College's weekly surveillance testing protocol. As you might be interested in knowing, this person is not involved in the preparation of food. And the employee notified the college immediately and immediately quarantined. Through contact tracing, a number of additional employees in dining services were asked to quarantine immediately. The steps we've taken are consistent with any positive test identified. We are following our protocols and practices carefully and working within state and CDC guidance. Additionally, I should note that our employees are most willing to take extra caution in this regard, and they have been understanding and helpful. In this particular case, because of the essential role of dining, the college conducted a deep, thorough cleaning of all of its facilities on Sunday night. While the college is confident proper procedures have been followed, testing has been encouraged for employees working in dining services, and human resources is working with those employees. If additional actions need to be taken, we are prepared and ready to do so. At this time, we have no indication it will be necessary. We share this information today not to worry you, but because we are, as an institution, we aim to be transparent. And as a dad of a student, I share your thoughts. Our cabinet makes our decisions using our professional expertise and with the care and concern students, parents, and employees deserve. I'll now pass it back to Carrie Rush. Carrie?
Thank you, Kirk. Before we close, I want to share some important information about some new services that can help our students. We know that this fall has been especially hard for our students, and whether they are on campus or learning at a distance, students have had to adapt to many changes due to the pandemic. Because of this, Augustana has added an additional layer of support for student health and well-being. This new telehealth service is called Students.Care. It is free and it is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for Augustana students. It will help with both their mental health needs as well as their medical health needs. Licensed providers are available to diagnose non-emergency medical conditions, everything from colds and flus, for example, and they can prescribe medications. Students also can receive immediate mental health support, or they can schedule a virtual counseling appointment. There are a diverse set of providers to choose from, allowing students to find someone who is a good fit for them. Students.Care augments the in-person services that we already have on campus. So you are well aware of our student counseling services that are offered here and have been for years. This is in addition to that. We also have the health clinic on campus, the new Augustana Convenient Care Clinic powered by Genesis. And this is an additional layer on top of that. All students are encouraged to register for Students.Care and make health and well-being a priority for themselves right now. If you are looking for more information about this service, it's easy to go to our website and search Students.Care, and you will find information there. Or watch for today's email. Our campus update will include a link as well. In conclusion, I want to touch on one more topic, and that is to remind you that the COVID-19 pages on our website do allow you to ask questions of us. So if there are questions that you have for the college, please go to the COVID-19 webpage and look for that link to leave a comment or ask a question. As I said in the beginning, we will do our best to respond as quickly as possible. And we do appreciate the feedback and the questions that we do get from our campus community, as well as parents and others who are interested in how Augustana is doing. Thank you so much for your time today. Mask up, take care. We are done. We appreciate your interest.